Okay, we just made a cylinder form, and I have calipers here, and I want to measure the cylinder inside our little valley that we've created here, a little nested bench for the rim of the lid to fit into. If I wanted to make, say for a teapot where it drops down, I'm also going to want to measure this area here on the inside, which is, with this lid master, you can see it clearly from two different ways, so that it can go inside of that as well as resting out here. So for making a lid this small, I'm going to do a technique that we call throwing from the hump. I'll just attach this to my bat, and I'll partially center this, but I'm really only going to center the chunks I need. So I'll see. Okay, so get the wheel speed going. We're going to push down and in and seal it on. Then I'm going to comb this up, and then I'm just going to center this little knob on top up here, about a ½ pound, and I won't need all of it, but that'll be more than enough to make a little 4-inch lid. Okay, I've got this knob centered. There's a bunch of different ways you can make a lid. I'm going to make this one right side up so that it'll have the handle side, and then we'll bring out the flange to hold it to meet our body. So instead of opening up traditionally how we open up right in the middle, we're going to offset it. We're just going to compress first across the top, make sure the clay is nice and consolidated, and we're going to offset it. We're going to step back and open up just a little bit here. Now we can either have a solid knob or we can have a hollow knob. I'm going to go ahead and make a hollow knob just by reopening this here. So my thumb is hinged here, and I just push my finger down and consolidate the rim of that. And there's the beginning of my hollow knob. So it goes down on the inside about as much as I have on the outside here. Now, take it down just a little bit lower and complete the shaping of that knob. Finish off some trimmed in surfaces here. Now we can begin the next part, which is making this rim, the flange of it, come out and meet the diameter we've set for our bottom. So I'm going to use this technique where I take a sponge, peace sign, thumb over the front of it. That's going to compress around the edge of my rim as I pinch with my left hand. I got my thumb and my pointer finger, and I'm pinching that clay and compressing it while I pinch. The compression keeps it centered as I pinch it out, up, and then back out again. This has a little bit of a drop to it, so it fits the inside of my pot as well as the little bench I've created for the lid to rest on. So we have our form. We've measured this area here, and we're going to check that with this area. You can see we have a little bit to go, so I'm going to pull that out a little bit, and we'll get that established. So a way to pull that out is I can come and undercut below this point here. If you're not sure where that point is, you can always take your needle tool and poke a hole in and see where it comes, and then you can drop down below that on the outside. That's why it's called a probe, so you can investigate things. Okay, I'm going to move this clay out over my finger, and I'm using my finger as a bench to pull this out to make it a little wider, and then I'll pull this out. Check. That is getting closer. Okay, check that. So we'll look at the diameter. I think we're pretty good. So now we've got this diameter here, but we also need to measure this part in here. And so I'm going to take this, and when I look at this, I want to see a nice taper in this section here. and I want it to fit the calipers. Across here. And we've got more than enough, but I'm going to actually move that a little wider out. A little bit of an edge on it, right there. So, with the needle tool, there's a couple ways to do this. I like to use the needle tool with a groove down here, holding this level, and I'm just going to slide this through, and I can take the lid off, and I can set it on my tray next to my form, like so, and they can dry together. Just to give you an idea how that works, I wouldn't handle this normally, but I want to show you that that would fit inside there like that. It's not a good idea to handle by the knob until it's dried a little bit.